Welcome to The Explainer. And wow, what a story we're breaking down today. The world woke up to some absolutely bombshell news. A U.S. strike on Venezuela and the reported capture of its president. So how did this all happen? Using the live reporting from the BBC, we're going to piece this incredible story together.
So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it ignites with one single, explosive announcement from a very, very familiar source.
So early this morning, boom, former U.S. President Donald Trump drops this on his Truth Social platform. And the claims, they're just stunning. A large-scale strike, and not just that, but the capture of a sitting head of state. It's the kind of thing you read twice.
Okay, so you might be thinking it's just a social media post, right? Well, not so fast, because soon after, the BBC's U.S. partner, CBS News, got a critical confirmation. U.S. officials actually verified that the order for these strikes was real and that military facilities inside Venezuela were the targets. All of a sudden, this had official weight, and things started escalating fast. So while this political bombshell is blowing up online, what was actually happening on the ground in the capital, Caracas? Well, eyewitness reports started flooding in, and they paint a really chaotic and terrifying picture.
A journalist there, Vanessa Silva, she just captured the raw human fear perfectly. She said, "My heart was pumping and legs were shaking." She's describing what it feels like to be an ordinary citizen when all of a sudden your world just comes under attack.
And the scene she's describing? It sounds apocalyptic. Residents were reporting blasts stronger than thunder that were literally powerful enough to make their homes vibrate. They looked outside and saw these huge plumes of smoke, and, this is chilling, people saw objects falling from the sky right before the explosions. Then the power went out. The feeling on the ground was clear. This was no accident. This was a coordinated citywide attack.
Okay, so its capital is under fire. How did the Venezuelan government officially respond as this crisis was unfolding?
Well, the response was immediate, and it was furious. The government released an official statement, and they used the strongest possible language. They said Venezuela rejects, repudiates, and denounces what it called an extremely serious military aggression by the United States. No mincing words there.
Now, this is crucial. That same statement laid out 3 orders, and they attributed them directly to President Maduro. First, he declared a state of external commotion across the entire nation. Second, he ordered all national defense plans to be implemented immediately. And third, a massive call to action, urging all forces, from the military to social organizations, to get ready and activate mobilization plans.
So you've had to be asking, how did we get to the brink of war, seemingly overnight? Well, an attack like this never happens in a vacuum. According to the BBC, this was really the explosive finale to months of rapidly escalating tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela.
And this timeline just shows how dizzying the whole thing was. It starts back in September with U.S. strikes on boats out in international waters. By late December, we're talking about the first U.S. land strike inside Venezuela. Just think about that jump for a second, from the open sea to a direct hit within a sovereign nation. And then, incredibly, just 2 days ago, Maduro was signaling he was open to talks. But by then, it was clearly too little too late.
And at the absolute heart of all this are 2 completely different realities. On one side, the U.S. administration is claiming this is all about stopping Maduro from funding drug trafficking and crime. But on the other side, Venezuela is framing this as a modern-day act of imperialism, a blatant attempt by the U.S. to seize its huge oil and mineral wealth. Both sides see the other as the aggressor.
Okay, that's a lot of information moving really, really fast. It's easy to get lost. So let's just pause and summarize exactly what we know so far, based on the BBC's reporting.
So let's connect the dots here. Donald Trump makes the stunning announcement from afar. Then U.S. officials confirm the strike order, which gives it legitimacy. On the ground, the people of Caracas are witnessing the fiery, terrifying consequences. And right in the middle of it all, you have President Maduro, who is reportedly captured, yet somehow his government is still issuing orders in his name for a national mobilization. Every single piece of this puzzle points to a massive coordinated event.
And so we're left here, with a nation in absolute crisis. Its leader is reportedly a captive, yet its people are being called to mobilize for war. The immediate future for Venezuela isn't going to be defined by politics or diplomacy, but by a simple and frankly terrifying question: what happens next?